Guys, what's up? So I'm back. So if you remember, a few months ago, I did a video like what I think the Mets should do over the offseason. But now, I know more about it and I've been thinking more about it, so I think I'd be able to make a better video about this. So we've already made some moves, and I'm not going to ignore that. I'm going to talk about that too. So obviously, the most important one is like a week ago, we signed James McCann, a new catcher. So I'm going to explain to you what I think about that. So people are saying like, oh my God, they signed McCann. That means they're gonna get Springer and Bauer because why else would they get the second best catcher instead of number one, right? Guys, that makes no sense. I know Cohen's rich, but he's not gonna buy everybody. He didn't get Realmuto because he's not just thinking about winning this year. He's thinking about winning other years. Okay, you know Francisco Alvarez, like our number 2 prospect. He's a catcher and he's like 19, and he's supposed to come out or come up in a few years. And Realmuto, he's like a starting catcher, or the number 1 catcher or whatever. And he's like a 5-year deal, and he's gonna be your primary catcher like every year because he's the best catcher right now. And you're gonna seriously overpay that guy. And what if he just sucks? Like, what if after 2 years, he's good and then he just stops? Like, he's 30. You can't expect him to be amazing every year. And same thing with McCann, but only you're paying him much less, and you're being prepared for him to be a backup catcher at some point with Francisco Alvarez, who's going to come to the majors in a few years. Like, they're not thinking about, oh, let's save up for Bauer and Springer. They're thinking, okay, what would be best for the team in the long term and this year? And McCann's the number 2 catcher. Maybe they were just thinking about money because they don't want to spend I'm going to use a Steve Cohen quote right now. We're not going to spend like a drunken sailor. We're going to be smart. That's what makes sense. Don't just... Yeah, okay. You get it. So, also, we gave a qualifying offer to Stroman, which I don't really need to explain. He's a good pitcher, and he's worth $19 million for 1 year. And he accepted it, which was a little surprising, but I guess since the COVID market's not as good, he wants to be good this year and then wait till next year to get more money, I guess. That's probably what he's doing. And then we also signed pitcher Trevor May. He's a relief pitcher to, I think, 2 years, and he's supposed to be really good, and that's a good deal. So now I think what else they need to do. So they don't need Springer and Bauer. You don't need both of them. That is unnecessary and a waste of money. The Mets are a good team. We've got a good core group, and I read that Pete Alonso is working really hard and stuff. So if Diaz is pitching the 2018 Diaz, then I think we're good, honestly. Okay, we need more relief pitchers. I heard the Mets are talking to Liam Hendricks, so that's good because if you think about last year, what really screwed us up in 2019? Okay, starting pitching was bad, but that was just because everybody was getting hurt. But 2019, that's when we really had a shot. If it wasn't for Diaz screwing everything up, we would have made the postseason no problem. So it's mostly relief pitching that's been our problem. And, okay, so we need to fix that. So I think talking to Hendricks is good. And we signed Trevor May, but I'm thinking more. There are more, there's Kirby Yates, there's Brad Hand, there's more than that, but I don't need to mention all of them. And also, starting pitching is necessary because right now these are the only people we've penciled in. DeGrom, obviously number 1, and then we have Stroman, and then we have Peterson, and then we also have Lugo and Matz, but Matz is good, but last year he was horrible. So I think he needs to work on it a little bit, and I know he is because he can't just sit there and watch Netflix if he sucked that bad in 2020. But we know, so I read that Matt's, his problem was that he would psych himself out a little bit, but he still has the stuff. He needs to work on it mentally. And then McCann's good for Matt's too because Matt's and him were catching together over quarantine and stuff. So that's good. Also, we need more starting pitcher than that because Lugo is a reliever, and I want him to stay a reliever because we need good relievers. So, and Syndergaard's going to come back eventually, but we can't count on him in the beginning of the season. He's probably not coming back till June. So, DeGrom, Stroman, Peterson. We need 2 more, right? 2 more, or just Matz and just let him, and just hope that he'll be better, or do Lugo if he sucks, or a Zellman or something. But I think 2. But or 1 for when Syndergaard comes back, so Matz can just fill in for them. But we've been talking to Corey Kluber, or were we talking to Corey Kluber? I don't know. Corey Kluber's a free agent. And I think we have talked to him a little bit. We've been definitely talking to Jake Odorizzi. And that's good because we need more pitchers. And they don't need to be aces, though. We don't need Trevor Bauer. Like, he'd be nice. He's good. But also, there are a bunch of, like, pros and cons to Bauer. Like, pro, he just won a Cy Young. He can be an ace. Con, like, we don't know that he can consistently be an ace. And also, like, he is, like, he's very, like, controversial, I guess. So, like, I don't know. And then there's, Paxton. He'll be good. He'd be a good fit. And then there's some Japanese players. I forget their names. But they would be good, and they were really good in Japan, so that's promising. Like, we can use them. And also, we got a catcher. Like, do we really need a center fielder, though? Like, I get it. Nemo's a defensive liability, but he's also very good offensively. So, maybe we can get, like, a Maresnik, Ligaris type player to be backup for Nemo for defense. Or we can get, like, we don't need Springer, though. We can get someone, like, I don't know, like not Marisnik or Ligaris, but, like, those types of players. And then they can be back up to Nimmo. But, like, I guess center fielder. But there are other center fielders, like Jackie Bradley Jr. or something. We don't need the best. And also, I honestly don't think we should trade, like, J.D. Davis or Brandon Nimmo. Like, we don't need to. Like, I get it. They can both be liabilities. And, yeah, maybe we can, like, get other players to play backup for them or something, or to make them backups. But they're still really good players with so much potential, and trading them away, like, isn't smart. And do we really... Okay, so Lindor, Arenado for, like, 1 year? Really? Is that necessary? Like, okay, so just say you trade Dom Smith for Lindor. Is that worth it? Like, I don't know. I feel like some Mets fans just have super high expectations. They're not thinking about, like, the potential of our core group. They're thinking about what has been done by players who might be in a decline. And, like, I don't know. Like what they've done before. Like, I get it. Nolan Arenado, he's really good. But how much are we getting from him? Like, 1 year, 2 years? I'm not quite sure. But, like... And he wasn't good in 2020, so it might be a little risky. Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying about that. Yeah, so, bye.